The views, takes and opinions expressed on this show are of the host's own and do not represent the views, takes and opinions of the Main Event Mark, PWPH Wrestling Network and its affiliates. Material and sources mentioned in this episode is for general and commentary purposes only. This episode might include strong language and may not be suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised. Stay safe and stay wrestle everyone. Welcome to the Main Event Mark.
Okay, so we're good. It's been a while actually that I did an episode on this show because sobrang active ko sa main event sa kabila lately sa PWPH because we just had the season finale of the PWPH podcast and now I'm back here. I'm just trying to experiment things on that show, trying to build new things. And then, syempre, prioritize pa rin natin tong main event. Pasensya na, wala rin akong mga live stream recently. Kasi parang hindi naman nawala ng gana. It's more on pagod. Pagod yung diwa ko lately. Pero yeah, I think I am good. I'm recovering. I am in peace right now. Recording this solo episodes unlike what I am doing on other show sa PWPH podcast. And then, get used to this new thing. New episodes will be fixed every Saturdays na, I guess, after SmackDown. So, yeah, ganito na yung magiging bagong norm going forward. And yeah, welcome to the Main Event Mark podcast. By the way, my name is Angelo Panera. And yeah, thank you ulit for joining here on this very, very, very drowning episode of the show. So, yeah, hindi naman ako nawala. I'm just taking focus mainly on the other show, the PWPH podcast. I am the producer of that show. So, putang ina, ang hirap i-produce nun, sa totoo lang. And now, I am done with that show for now. Kasi we're going to produce new episodes after ng Heart to Heart. We're going to talk about a lot of things, especially with Decada coming up on video on demand. I'm planning to do a re-review of that on this show, by the way. Then, plano ko din mag-set ng reviews or roster reviews as promised on the show. So, the PWPH podcast. So, medyo busy ako for the next couple of episodes. But no worries, I can assure you that this show will come back kicking as fuck. Hindi naman tayo kagaya ng ibang show dyan na gumawa lang ng Facebook page para masabing credible sila. But no, fuck them off. We are here for wrestling and we're here for the best for the wrestling business. Again, my name is Angelo Panera. Thank you again for listening on this very, very vile episode of the show. This episode is actually interesting since this was my first episode since after Bash in Berlin, no? So September, ano na ngayon, as we speak, 15? Ayun, September 15 na today and holy crap, wala pa akong episode ni isa. So, yung mga na-miss ko, sige, summarize na lang natin dito sa show. So, yeah, I'm really excited as well to give my shorter review thoughts on All Out, Bash in Berlin, and then let's talk about the shit that's happening currently with AEW with their obsession of hardcore. And the match that was announced on FPW Unfinished Business going to be Jeff Cobb versus Mike Madrigal for the FPW Championship on October 20 tapings. And of course, the show Yuki Kamiyuki is coming in the Philippines for Jam of the Joshis, the winner of Joya versus Chelsea Marie match will face her for the title. And yeah, that will be interesting to see what transpired on that show. Sorry about that. Alatang na-miss ko mag-record din. But yeah, let's check some headlines first from our friends over on Fightful. So, again, thank you ulit sa mga sumusuporta sa main event. and I hope that you can support us until the end, and also you can support our other podcast, the PWPH podcast, and we are planning more content on our network counterpart over on the PWPH Wrestling Network. So I hope you can join, you can support us here on the network, and this growing network is going to be a banger. Yes, I'm still affiliated with Bong Collective. Nag-take lang sila ng indefinite suspension of operations. So for now, I'm part of this network, and we're growing this network as we are transpiring with this content that we have both on the main event and on the PWPH Wrestling Podcast. So, pag-usapan natin yung mga bagay-bagay na nangyari for the past few days. So yes, we heard that right, that Athena is now the longest running reigning Ring of Honor champion for ROH Ring of Honor. So there's a lot of things happened then for the past few days. Ang dami ding stuff na nangyari over on TNA. That was amazing to mention. And it's amazing as well to indicate on what will happen in the next couple of episodes. It's actually really interesting to see how things will transpire with these current shows. And it's actually very interesting to see how things should take place, or how things should take place later on. And of course, marami rin tayong pag-uusapan sa mga bagay-bagay. So also on our headlines, a bad to Tito to defend his MLW title against Matthew Justice at Slaughterhouse. So Mystico won the Opera Cup at MLW Fightland. Yeah, good for him. Then there are some fight pit set for September 26, Matt Riddle versus Tom Lawler. Actually, Tom Lawler, I watched him before. He is amazing. I swear to God, very solid wrestler then. No? Then, si Yuka Sakazaki, I think she is amazing then on her own right. And yan, wala akong masyado makomento sa potential niya. Yeah. So, si Nigel McGuinness, Ito, may problema ako on how All Out transpired and how things transpired in the past 2 weeks na nawala ako dito sa show na to. Jesus Christ. Ang dami kong kailangan pag-usapan, ang dami kong kailangan balikan on this update episode of the show. Pero, bibigyan ko kayo ng mas mahabang commentary on that next week. So, ang itake lang natin sa ngayon is yung mga na-miss ko. Basically, I have a lot of things na na-miss ko, and I want everyone to bear with me to share with you my thoughts and my opinions as well on these recent shows. Medyo ang dami ko na-miss, sa totoo lang. Yung Bash and Berlin, yung All Out, yung All In, nagawa ko ng review, haba nun. Medyo, yun nga yung last episode ko no? Yun. So yeah, before we can continue, again, follow the podcast on all of the social media platforms at Main Event Mark PW. Again, nakakalimot na naman ako ng script kasi hindi na ako nakapag-podcast. But yun, at Main Event Mark PW. And then, you can still stream your favorite WWE and UFC programming over on Tap Sports and on Blast TV. So, they are the current broadcasters of Raw, SmackDown, NXT, UFC pay-per-views is on pay-per-view, and Fight Night is on Premier Sports. Yun. So, if you want to subscribe on Blast TV, it's $179 per month. Or if you have their affiliated internet service provider, then you can subscribe as well. So, dami na lang their network subscription provider partners. So, you can subscribe on those platforms if you want to support our friends on Blast TV. So, let's do a recap lang. Ayoko na magbigay ng mahabang review on all of these shows. No? Of course, maboboring kayo pag binigyan ko ng mahabang review itong mga matches na to na nangyari na 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, I apologize again if medyo na-late na tong review. So, let's talk about Bash in Berlin nga muna. Ang Bash in Berlin was actually a mid-show to me. Nothing special happened on this show. Wala namang ganong nabago. I really love the Cody Owens match. Feels very vile to see how those two groups became over. Then si Joe Tessitore, I hope we can see him often on this PLEs. Not only Michael Cole, I hope we can see a rotation on this coming weeks. Lalo na sa mga PLEs, no? I would love to see Joe Tessitore on the commentary for PLEs as well. So, KO versus Cody. Personally, I really love the match. I really love this match. Medyo nag-ano lang sa akin yung story. To the fact that there are friends, parang doon pa lang alam ko nang hindi mo nanalo si KO. It's just more on putting a barricade on Cody's reign as champion. And I don't really see special on this match. But the match was good. The match was amazing. I could not see a bad thing about it. But when it comes to the being a make sense match, it doesn't make sense to me. Yun. So, that was amazing. Sa totoo lang. Pero, para kasing lackluster yung naging part dito sa part na to. And hindi rin kasi sobrang aggressive ni KO on this. Parang hindi siya sineryoso. Because they're friends. Parang ganun yung nangyari. And I didn't like it that much. But regardless, this was amazing. That was really good. And I could not talk longer about it. But it was amazing as well. Yun. Then, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill became the women's tag team champions again. Again, those two teams are the only credible tag team in wrestling today. No, they are the only two literally credible tag teams right now. Piper Niven and Chelsea Green, they're amazing too. But I always loved both of them as solos. So yun, parang bummer siya sa akin. Then we have this match. It makes sense naman na nanalo sila Bianca and Jade. They are over as fuck. Of course, they're going to give them the title, especially with the WWE week came early this week. So, it makes sense to see them winning. So, yun nga. Parang mas may sense sa akin na si talaga yung nanalo doon. Si Jade at si Bianca. Because on how things transpired on this show, and it's actually amazing to see that they are growing up with the idea, okay, this is going to be the thing that we have to focus with. It's going to be the focus of focus going forward. And this is going to be the goal that we have to be focused with. So that's really good to me. And sobrang over kasi talaga. Yung pagiging over ni Bianca plus Jade's charisma, that is something na hindi mo pwedeng miscredit sa kanilang dalawa. Bianca is amazing. Jade is amazing on her own right. So parang ang hirap miscredit ni Miss Jade on her own deal. Kasi sobrang sobrang charisma niya. Konting improvement lang siguro sa pagiging ring awareness sa ring. But they're amazing on their own right. But yun, sila Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, I think those two made the purpose of becoming the champions, and actually I really like to see them becoming the champions. Ito yung part na medyo WWE is really relying on star power. No. Parang mas effective kasi yung pagiging champions if sila Jade yung mananalo and they're charismatic better than the two champions before. Then, we have the strap match. Okay, the strap match is one thing that I think I didn't like it that much. So it makes sense that we have a Hell in a Cell in October and Bad Blood. So parang ang ano sa akin ito, yes, Punk got his win back over Drew, but parang it's basically a brawl just with the obsession of the bracelet. And they're trying to sell us the bracelet as the key. That's why CM Punk is still pissed on Drew. I like the idea, yeah, sure. But the CM Punk is getting distracted that much if he's still focusing and insisting about that ring and also that bracelet. And hindi siya magtatagumpay sa goal niya if the only thing that he is going to focus with was that bracelet. So that will be funny as fuck. But yeah, CM Punk, I'm glad he was able to take that advantage on that match. And I think, I don't know, sabihin ko to I don't agree with people na sabihin nila, ay mas okay to kaysa sa MJF versus Punk nung Dog Collar. No. This is a lighter version of that. And it was amazing by its own. But no one compares to that match. It was amazing on its own, but it's kinda toned down because of the PG-ness of the WWE programming. But yeah, it was amazing match. It's basically a brawl to me. It was the first win of Punk after 10.5 years, which is good. And it's amazing in its own right. So, ito, I really like this match over on their match at SummerSlam simply because it's actually better. And sobra din kasing decisive yung win ni Punk dito, which is very given. And then, everyone expected Punk to win. So it makes sense. It's amazing. But like what I said, there's a match that I kinda didn't like it that much because of the intensity. But I would say this clearly better than what we got on SummerSlam. So yeah, that's it. So, obviously naman magkakaroon tayo ng isa pang match, Hell in a Cell sa Bad Blood. Okay, good. And then, Judgment Day, Dom and Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley and Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. Ito. So, my take on this such an amazing storytelling. I'm not gonna say it's an amazing match, sure. Pero the storytelling on this feud between Judgment Day and the Terror Twins, it shows the number one, yung evolution ni Liv as champion. Liv is improving herself as champion. It was amazing in its own right, no? Na Liv Morgan is really showing that she is adapting on the current era of the WWE. And she is amazing on her own right. Si Rhea Ripley is very given to me. She is over, she is gorgeous, she is amazing on her own right. So I could not say a bad thing about Rhea. Si Dom is a scumbag. That's for sure. Ayan. So, Damian Priest is getting over and over. Sobrang happy na to for sure. That was a happy moment, happy match for everyone in the crowd. Parang hindi siya naging bummer or failure match. But yeah, it was an entertaining match for sure. So, like what we said, yung mga interference, it's kind of necessary because of the turn or the role of the Judgment Day douchebags. But yeah, it should be a setup for Rhea and Liv fighting for the title, which is it must made official for Bad Blood. Then it's actually really working for both sides. Rhea is a amazing champion so far. Before, si Liv growing as a champion is actually amazing on her own right too. Yeah, and Continue natin. So, No Mercy. No Mercy is kinda a miss to me, so I'm not gonna talk about that anymore on this show. I really love Joe Hendry and Julia finally arriving on NXT WWE canon is such a really good moment. Yeah, I'm not gonna tackle a lot of that, but personally, I really love Julia's presentation. I really love her charisma. Um, Everyone is definitely getting boned on Julia for sure. For sure, daming titigasan dyan. Joke lang. Kumakansal tayo. Ayan. So, continue natin with the main event, obviously. So, the main event is actually, wow, what a classic. Sobrang classic ito. This is not your typical WWE main event match. This is not a storytelling focused match. This is not your AEW classic exhibition match. This is a classic Gunter match. And I really love it on its own. No? It was amazing on its own right. But and every time we see Gunter actually growing and adapting on more effective style of wrestling, I think that what makes him different over Walter. I really like Walter, but Gunter is clearly a different beast on its own flesh. Randy Orton, given na yan, Randy Orton is just there to put Gunter over. And the whole match itself is really focused on Gunter. And yeah, props to Randy. Randy Orton did a really good job putting over Iliam here on the show, Gunter. At nga ba, Ilya sinabi ko. But yeah, it really shows Randy is a team player. He knows what his role. He knows that he is over. He's amazing in its own right. And yeah, I think this match was satisfying. And I cannot say bad things about it, to be honest. Parang ang naging bad thing ko lang, yes, mahaba siya sa ilan. Pero this is a Gunter match. No surprise there. It's actually impressive to watch a main event of the WWE programming that long, no? Tsaka ang rare din kasi ng ganong kahabang main event. So, it's okay with me. No issues. Yun. So, yeah, I think that's it for the review. I actually really liked the idea of this show. It's actually amazing then that they are really exposing the crowd just like what we have in Paris, France, or yung Leon France, tsaka yung sa other shows internationally this year. It's actually amazing on its own right. The crowd is over, the wrestling is over, everything is amazing on its own right as long as everything was doing right. So, yeah, I'm gonna rate this matches para lang siguro move on tayo sa All Out. All Out kasi kakatapos ko lang last week and medyo na busy rin ako. So, the Gunter match, I think it deserves 4. I think it deserves 4.75. Justified na yun. Parang sakto lang siya for me. I'm not saying this is a bad match. This sakto lang. Sakto lang yung feeling. Taas ba ng expectation doon sa mismong event. 4.75. Then, Cody Owens, 3.5. I think sakto lang. I could not say bad things about it. But it's more on how things should be taken shit or this very a filler match. Clear na yun. Yun na yung talaga kang kaya kong masabi about that. Parang, wala naman tayong nakitang tension. That's for sure. But, it clears here that it was an amazing match built by amazing wrestlers. So, it deserves 3.5. It's enough. Women's tag 2. The mixed tag, it's a real special moment. I think it was an entertaining match on its own. 3.5. And then the strap match, 3. That's it. Yeah, so let's move on to All Out. So All Out, I'm not gonna promise a long review of this because this is horrible. Some parts of it. Yeah, so it took place September 7. That's last week. Di pa tayo late dito. So, yan. Let's talk about this. So, I'm not gonna talk about the pre-show because it's shit. Okay. So, MJF versus Daniel Garcia. This match was actually parang ito yung feeling na natapos yung script nito habang in progress yung match. That's my feeling about it. Yes, it's kind of brutal. It was an amazing match. Pero ito yung feeling na nalaman lang natin yung ending during the match. Parang natapos ito ni Khan yung script of the finish for that match. It's very cheap. Yes, I agree. It is a very MJF match. So, no issues. Parang mas effective yun. He won like that and it works like that. Then, parang, ayun, hindi sila sure if they're going to give Daniel Garcia a win because of his status sa contract niya. Pero, yeah, I really think that MJF actually did a really good job putting the high standards on DG. So, it's amazing to me. Then, we have the tag titles. The tag titles, Young Bucks versus BCC. I didn't like the idea of this match because why? Why we're getting champions versus champions match now? Wala na bang competition? Wala na bang competition? I didn't like that much. The match was exhibition, very obvious. Parang ang labo din that they won without finishing moves. Weird din siya somehow. It was a lazy pro wrestling. It was very bland as fuck. Sobrang, yun yung pakiramdam ko. It was a bland match. Your typical Young Bucks match recently. And yeah, it's kind of lazy. Yeah, they're trying to tell a story, but the laziness of this thing kind of makes it not that great. But yeah, I'm not surprised either on Young Bucks winning the match. No surprise. Okay, so Will Ospreay versus Pac, another champion versus champion match that I didn't like. Tangay na kasi. Wala na talagang matinong champions or contenders ang AEW, no? So that's why the rankings is pointless. Okay, so Will Ospreay versus Pac, regardless on my take on the rankings, I think this was amazing, no? This was an amazing match. I know he is amazing on his own right. He is nice as fuck. Parang wala akong masyadong masabing ano. I really like this over the last match ni Will Ospreay sa Wembley. I really like this over that. MJF match, is MJF a factor? That's why I really like this more on that. I like Pac. Pac always works really well with someone who is actually taller than him. No. And of course, charismatic and on how athletic both of these people are. It was amazing to me. But yeah, it deserves an amazing rating, an amazing match. That was an amazing moment for both. Okay, so Chicago Street Fight, Chris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale. Like what I said before, I think I said it on a group chat or that's a episode namin on the PWPH podcast. I really like this match. This type of matches might disapprove a lot of women. no? Hindi ito magugustuhan ng karamihan ng mga babae because of how brutal this match was. Pero if you want to prove on someone that is not scripted, there's not the thing that you're expecting over on WWE, this is the match that I'm going to recommend. And it's no longer the Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. It was amazing. Sobrang ganda na to. I think to the fact that this match actually better than the other title matches on the women's side on this card. I'm kind of disliked it. Kind of disappointed then as well. But yeah, like what I said, that was an amazing match. That was a solid match. And it's very physical. Sobrang impressive. Tas yung finish was decisive then, so it was cementing Kris Statlander more for a win. So it makes sense. Okay, so we have also the 4-way for the Intercontinental Classic. I always forgot about this. Okay, so this match, Okada, Pockets, Takeshita, and Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe, he feels out of space here. Real talk. He feels out of space on this match. I'm not saying he's not great, but I don't see why TK always loves to book other champions on other matches that's not credible on being booked with, just like the other 2 matches earlier on the card. It's just disappointing to me that they are downgrading their champions like that. It's very disrespectful. Okay, anyway, so this match, the 4-way, that was entertaining. Yun lang talaga kaya ko sabihin. But mas maganda siguro if we kickstart the Takeshita Okada match na on this show. That would be better. Sa totoo lang. Okay. Mercedes Moné versus Hikaru Shida. The match was the match is not great, I would say. I love Hikaru Shida. Props to her, by the way, on giving the aggressive side of Mercedes. But this is it's actually really bad. The match is very focused on Mercedes her rather than the other bullshit happened on this shit. And I didn't like it. It's actually really bad to see someone like Mercedes ruining shit. Very stupid as fuck. And yeah, I hope that Mercedes can grow her kasi tangina, sobrang destructive dan sa buong match na to. Yes, yung buhok natin is getting fucked up on wrestling. But putang ina naman. This is really exposing her shit. I really like tuloy yung match niya sa Wembley ni Mercedes. Despite of me degrading that match. But this is really the worst. Props to Shida though. Shida is impressive. But her dancing partner is not. That's not a good signal. See. Okay. So let's continue with Bryan Danielson versus Jack Perry. Okay. This is a filler match for sure. Okay. So filler to, as expected. Let's talk about the match na lang. No? Okay. Ito, isa pang example of matches that actually don't think it makes sense on being booked. Kasi, ito na naman, nag-intervene na naman yung mga champions and I don't like that idea. Okay, this match as a whole, Um, I would say dinala to ni Danielson all throughout. And medyo hindi rin decisive yung naging match. Everyone is trying to insist to us that Perry is winning and Danielson might retire. Ay nako, this cringed me a lot. That was the part that kinda cringed me a lot. But yeah, I think that was okay. Medyo mahaba lang, nahabaan lang ako. Okay, so let's focus now on what happened after the match. So, Killswitch arrived in the ring, then he headbutt Bryan Danielson, then Christian Cage came, and then there's the contract that he won at Wembley. Then Jon Moxley appeared to save Danielson, obviously, and then the patriarchy left the ring. And then BCC is now celebrating in the ring. Pac is not a member of BCC, just to be clear. Then Claudio hits Bryan with the uppercut. Then Jon Moxley puts a fucking plastic bag on his head. Then walang makasalba sa kahit anong nangyayari because of Marina Shafir. Then Pac is holding Wheeler Yuta. Hindi pa rin tayo aware on his role. Then everyone is cheering, this is murder, this is murder. And then they choked Danielson all throughout. And hindi pa rin makahinga si Bryan until the end of the segment. And that was sickening, actually. Okay, let's talk about my thoughts. I would say ito yung mga bagay that you don't see in wrestling very much, no? That's why everyone is really cheering, this is fucking murder, this is murder. And everyone was silent when things are executing during the progress. And I am sure BCC is over on what's happening. I am really confused still with Moxley and his point why he is pointing at Darby in his Tyro shot for the Tyro, AEW Tyro. I know he is winning the Tyro some point, pero ito yung sinasabi ko if Jon Moxley is challenging for the AEW Championship again, AEW is calling for desperation. That's for sure. Yun yung parang nagiging impression ko. If AEW knows they're fucked up with Mercedes, si Okada, si Will Ospreay, and now we might get another Ospreay, Ricochet that could not fill a gap. Imagine this Moxley Tyro run that we might get sooner than later. It's just calling for desperation. I didn't like it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just calling for desperation. For sure. Okay. That should be it for now for me. Let's talk about this. The main event that was a lights out steel cage match between Hangman Page and Swerve. The match is disgusting as a whole. The whole match was disgusting. Holy crap. The whole match, hindi nyo na makikita to in any company except WWE and GCW in extent. But yung hypodermic needle that we never seen in the wrestling before, it's just holy shit. At saka ito mga putang ina nyo huwag niyong papaniwalaan yung gimmick chair shots na yan na sinasabi ng mga fans ng ng mga company Dave Meltzer sa One tsaka sa Figure 4. Tangina yung mga walang gimmick na chair shots. Kwento barbero lahat yan. Tangina. It's not a gimmick chair shot. It's just a fucking chair shot. That was a crazy match as a whole. I know both of them had crazy matches in the past, but I hope this might be the last. Like what I said, this is something that we never seen in wrestling for a while. And again, I'm going to repeat this. I don't give a fuck on everyone calling this point. Ang sabihin ko lang is this match was pointless. The match was pointless because lights out. And to the fact that everyone is trying to make some excuses about this match, they're trying still to insist that was a gimmick chair. Hampasin kaya kita ng steel chair sa ulo. Let's see. And I'll tell you in your face that was a gimmick chair shot at dapat hindi ka makatulog dyan. Hayop ka. That's why I don't like the idea of everyone, especially with the fans of Wrestling Observer Radio, that it's a gimmick chair shot. It's clearly not. Stop with the bullshit, Dave. Okay. So, yeah, Hangman definitely deserves the win here. But like what we said, Swerve is really cementing himself as a win. And Hangman, at this point, they're just pushing him more because he is an original AEW guy. So that's for sure. So parang there's part of me na pinush lang nila si Hangman kasi taga-elite siya before. And wala namang nangyari follow-up about that. Asan si Hangman? Wala. Asan si Swerve? Wala. So, yeah. If this will be the last time that we see both of them in the match, good. I don't want to see this match again. And I don't want to see chair shots in the head again. Simple. Okay, final thoughts. I think this match was... Ano ba tawag dito? I think this match was an amazing show. Minus some of stuff. Especially with the Mercedes one. I'm kind of disgusted on that. So, I think this clearly better than All In. Oh, at some point, yeah. Pero, yun. I was clearly better on that. And, yeah, there is some drama there. But all of the champions defended on this show is no surprise to me. Then, I didn't like the idea of champion versus champion matches when it doesn't make sense. Then, the heel turn of Moxley and attacking Danielson was I kind of called it out because Moxley is acting different lately on that show after Wembley. Then, I don't still have any idea why we are still getting this. Why we are getting this, it's not clear. Hindi pa rin siya klaro. Then, the Hangman Swerve. I hope this will be the last time that we see this type of shit. Again, I'm saying this. I don't tolerate the bullshit with the chair shots to the head. Na sabihin nyo, hindi siya necessary. Ano naman yung mga gimmick or excuses that they're going to insist here, this is not excuse to me anymore. This is a chair shot to the head, straight up. Straight up. Stop it. Stop doing that spot. Okay. So, let's do my ratings nga on the show All Out. Okay. So, asan yung ano ko? Okay. So, the MJF Garcia, I think it deserves 3.5. The Young Bucks BCC did not rate it because of how random the match was. The Will Ospreay versus Pac match, definitely a 5 to me. The Chris Statlander versus Willow, 4.5. I really like it. Okada 4-way 4. Mercedes Bonet, Hikaru Shida did not rated kasi I know how disappointed I am on that match. Bryan Danielson, Jack Perry, 3.5. The Hangman Swerve in default DNR. Because it's a lights out match, pointless match sa madaling sabi. Okay. That's it for my back-to-back reviews of the shows that I missed. Now, let's talk about the recent show that I definitely not missed. SmackDown, let's start with this. SmackDown is having a new home, USA. And, okay, I really like the new theme song of SmackDown, the Megan Thee Stallion theme, and RM of BTS. This is definitely an upgrade compared on the song that we got last 2 years. Yung that song is catchy, yes. But in wrestling, no. Nakaka-pump siya, oo. Parang ganun yung feeling ko. Pero I have mixed emotions on that Def Rebel song. I mentioned on my Facebook post sa main event that no matter what, WWE is mainstream. So it makes sense to see WWE using this song na kinanta ni Megan Thee Stallion at ni RM ng BTS. They are trying to pull BTS friends, armies, on the fandom of WWE. And how given this product is actually revolved and on given how things evolved in pro wrestling, it's actually given to me that they are going to lean on mainstream. Speaking of mainstream, in-announce din at on the report ni PW Insider that we might no longer see Deb Rebo into the WWE canon. And they're going to use mainstream songs moving forward. Good. Okay, so let's talk about SmackDown. Konti lang to. So Cody versus Solo steel cage match. 30 minutes of this was commercial free. So basically, this whole match are commercial free. Kasi yun lang naman yung sinakop ng 30 minutes. This match, okay, this match is actually fun to me. No? This match was nice. This match was amazing. Pero I have some concerns here. Parang hindi ako impressed on how things went out on this match, but it felt lackluster most part. But yeah, this is definitely just set up Roman appearance for sure. Yun lang yun. Okay, so let's talk about the visuals that we have on SmackDown lately. So yeah, I love the Megan Thee Stallion song. It's actually nice. Parang iba yung feeling niya sa vibe. Yes, I'm used to pop or I'm used to rap or hip hop or rock hip hop or sorts like that. Everyone is kind of sour about this just because a woman's song or a woman's song sing the song. And to point the context here, why these people are sour about this song? It's actually a really good song, right? The only con of this song, to me at least, ito lang yung con ko about this song. Medyo concerned ako on this song. In a way, I should not concern about this a lot. No? Concerned lang ako sa song na to because people marami nagkikriticize kasi sa BTS. Sasabi nila, bakla daw ang BTS, they don't like Megan Thee Stallion, they should bring rock wrestling, keep in mind, this is mainstream. Mainstream works every time. WWE is mainstream. And the best mainstream song right now, or this might be the best song right now, is the song that we have here by Megan Thee Stallion. And then, the visuals of SmackDown, yeah, it will take some time for me to get used to that. Pero I think this is an upgrade on some logos that was inspired before on WWE. And yeah, I think this will take time for me to grow with this logo. That was amazing. Okay, some matches that I don't want to talk about. Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes. This is something that I want to talk about. This is actually a really good match to me. And everyone or every match actually that they had, there's something that I think that was impressive and it's actually good to me. And sobrang galing kasi nila parehas. Andrade on his own, such an impressive wrestler. Carmelo Hayes, they're building him to be the best. Hindi man ngayon, it might be soon, but they're building him to something. It's actually really good. Then later on, after nitong match na to, we have the match that was made official. So, it's now Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu versus Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes na parehas nag-iiwasan. So, yeah, I'm glad that they eventually agreed to team up for the first time. So, Cody versus Roman will not happen. Okay. So, my takes on this show. So, this show was fun. Sa totoo lang. This is not a bad entry for me, and I'm really looking forward for the matches that will take place next week, especially with the Nia, Tiffany versus Bailey and Naomi match. But overall, it's actually amazing to me. Yeah, I'm not used to see WWE doing overruns, but this will grow to me later on. It's actually amazing. Then, konting rundown nga tayo sa Raw. Raw actually was a little bit stale to me. I love the Bret Hart Gunther thing when he mentioned Bill Goldberg. I love it. I love that shit. The 4-way ended with Jey Uso winning the contendership for the IC title. Good. Then Drew McIntyre versus Punk is set for Hell in a Cell on October sa Bad Blood. And this should be the main event. Good. I think that should be it kasi medyo di ko naman nagustuhan yung buong episode ng Raw. Ito, isang important thing to remember on this episode. Motor City Machine Guns is now signed with WWE. And this is such a big deal to me. They're going to NXT, of course, because people needs to recognize both of them first on the WWE canon. Then, eventually, pupunta rin sila sa main roster. And like what I said on the PWPH podcast, and also here today, earlier, that Julia is really impressive. They really have to show Julia. And Julia is actually amazing and gorgeous as hell. Okay, let's do NXT recap real quick. So, yeah, Jordan Grace defended the TNA title. Really good to me. Then, yun nga, Julia versus Chelsea Green, yes. Parang ultimatum ba to? Or momentum? They're trying to set up a momentum here, which is good. Actually amazing. And to see someone like Jordan and Julia on the same show, and eventually we are able to see Chelsea shining on this show, is such a really good moment to me. So, punta lang tayo Victory Road mabilis, no? So Victory Road 2024 was impressive because of the success that they have on current run of TNA. It's actually really good to us. Win-win to. Then, ano pa ba? I'm not gonna talk about a lot of this, but I really love the Josh Alexander thing and Joe Hendry. That was brilliant. Then the System won tag titles back. Then ano pa ba pwede natin note? Spitfire and Mike Bailey won their titles, the exhibition and the tag titles for knockouts. Si Zach Wentz, I think he won it just for No Mercy, which is fine. Okay. But Mike Bailey versus Zach Wentz, I recommend you guys, you should watch it. But yun, that should be it for this show. So, if you want to support the main event, Mark, you can support the main event on all of the social media platforms, Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and on YouTube at Main Event Mark PW. And you can support all of our shows on the PWPH network on our social media at PWPH Select. Also, please support our show, the PWPH podcast. Local wrestling shows is currently moving there. And yeah, natapos lang season 1. I hope you can binge all of the season 1 episodes. We are going to return on October 2024. We just have to finish with Puso show and also Dekada. Yeah, Dekada was amazing. And yeah, as promised, we're going to do Dekada re-review, same as what happened. And this will be historic because that's the first time that I'm going to review a review. This time it's with the footage of the whole event between the match that was called as the greatest thing in pro wrestling here in the Philippines between Zack Sabre Jr. versus Jake De Leon. And then yeah, speaking of Dexcon Dekada, you can watch now Dexcon Dekada. Main Event Mark is a proud media partner of Dexcon Dekada. Such a really good event. Hindi ko pwedeng alisin sa utak ko that Dexcon Dekada might be the best event of Dexcon and their history of Dexcon. And yeah, you can support all of our wrestlers sa Dexcon on that show that is only 175 pesos for the VOD of this show. And I hope you can support all of our local wrestling scene. Sa Puso, we have the upcoming Heart to Heart with Joya versus Josie Marie main eventing the show. The winner will face Kamifuku for the champ of the Joshis and also the Graveyard Chief Manila, October 12 and October 13 sa Brawl Pit Bulusan. MPW Unfinished Business just finished earlier today, and congratulations to everyone who competed on this first major show of FPW. Then ano pa ba? Kalimutan ko yung sasabihin ko. But yeah, the upcoming FPW tapings will have Jeb Cobb versus Mike Madrigal October 20. According to FPW, the tickets will be sold soon on their website, Ticket to Me. And yeah, we're really looking forward on this whole thing. Local wrestling will be covered over on the PWPH podcast and soon on our PWPH Wrestling News. And yeah, that should be it for now here on the show. Again, thank you as well for listening on the Main Event Mark podcast. This is a cooperative production of the PWPH Wrestling Network. And again, my name is Angelo Pinera. Thank you very much for listening. Stay safe and stay wrestle. See you on the next one. Bye for now.